What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Dispatch, episode 12. This is the weekly live stream that I do every Sunday night where I break down the biggest headlines in the world of physical media as well as film in general. And this week we got a doozy, man. We have a lot of shit to talk about. Um, well, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. This past week we had CinemaCon, which is a like 4 or 5 day long convention where basically all the big studios come out and they talk about all the stuff that they have coming up in the next, calendar year or whatever it is. And we had a ton of stuff that's relevant to talk about. A lot of it is just updates on things that we already knew were coming. So we've got that to talk about, and then there is one physical media story in here. Actually, I've kind of been slacking on the physical media news, but a lot of it is just not terribly relevant. But this one's actually pretty interesting, the one I have here today. So without further ado, guys, let's just jump right into it. So the first story is Warner Brothers completes worldwide sale of Coyote versus Acme. Now, this was going to be another movie that Warner Brothers was just going to shelve and like lock in a vault somewhere and write off as a tax write-off thing, similar to the Batgirl situation. If you're familiar with that, same thing. It was a movie. It was filmed. It was done. I think it was like 99% done. Might have just been a few post things they needed to do, but like just a fully completed movie that no one will ever get to see because they thought it sucked, I guess, and they weren't confident in it, so they shelved it. Same thing was going to happen with Coyote versus Acme. This is something in the line of like Looney Tunes Back in Action, or like Space Jam or something like that. So yeah, there was like a good amount of fan outcry, and people wanted to see this movie. So Warner Brothers shopped it around, and I don't know who picked it up. Ketchup Entertainment. I don't know who that is. Yeah, they caved, and we're gonna see this movie. So anyone who petitioned to get this thing not locked in a vault by Warner Brothers definitely needs to make sure they go out and support Coyote versus Acme. I definitely will be. Eric, what's up, bro? Yeah, I'm kind of early today. I started like 20 minutes early because I have a ton of shit to talk about. So I figured I'd just get a head start on it. House of the Dragon news season 3 will have 8 episodes similar to season 2. And season 4 will be the final season. Production will last until October for a 2026 season premiere. So they've at least been pretty good about every 2 years. House of the Dragon, but I still think that's too long. It's so long to have to wait 2 years between seasons, and that's if you're lucky. Some people are waiting like 3.5 years between seasons of their favorite show. Peacemaker season 2 is coming out this year, I think, and that's been like 3.5 years since that last season came out. So yeah, I'm excited for House of the Dragon, even though season 2 kind of sucked, if I'm being honest. It wasn't that good. Millie Shapiro is in talks for the titular role of Mike Flanagan's Carrie. Yeah, season 2 kind of it was just like them spinning their wheels a lot. Like we're kind of in the same place at the end of season 2 as we were in the beginning of season 2. Like nothing really happened. The season had some good moments, but for the most part, it just felt like a waste of time. So this is the Carrie movie that Mike Flanagan is producing, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he's directing this. But I don't know what Millie Shapiro looks like now. But in the novel Carrie is described as like being sort of pudgy and not like conventionally attractive, but not completely hideous or anything. So this seems like good casting, and I would like to see her back in another big like horror movie because she's really good in Hereditary. So that's good casting, I think. And now we're getting into the CinemaCon news. Yeah, new trailer was shown that revealed more intense action, intense infected action, and a church sequence similar to the first film. So that's cool. The thing that sucks about CinemaCon, guys, is like a lot like the news that we'll get from it is that like a trailer was shown, but you don't get to see it. And then it's just like written descriptions of the trailers. It's very underwhelming. I would love to go to one of these conventions one day, like be at CinemaCon for one of these things. But yeah, I need to check out the first 228 later movies because I feel like I need to get caught up for when this comes out because the trailer looks pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Here's some Spider-Verse news. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse comes exclusively to theaters June 4th, 2027. Like, the original release date was March 9th, 2024. Or March 29th, excuse me. That's a 3-year delay, bro. Why did they ever think that this was coming out that soon? Like, that shit is so crazy to me. That we thought we were getting this movie so quickly. Like, it was going to be a year turnaround. And now we're going, we got to 2027. That is so far away, dude. That is so fucking far away. It'll be almost 10 years. It'll be just shy of 10 years when this whole trilogy is finished. The first one came out in 2018. Absolutely bananas. So yeah, get excited for that, I guess. Zach Kreger talked about his new Resident Evil movie, which I'm very, very excited for, coming out in theaters next year. Very cool. Zach Kreger says his Resident Evil film will focus on one central protagonist going on a point A to B journey, slowly falling more into hellish territory. I mean, that sounds sick, man. That sounds cool as hell. I like the idea of them trying to get from one place to another. Conceptually, that's very exciting. It's very in line with the video game. A lot of Resident Evil games they're not linear. They're more backtracking and stuff like that. But, for what a movie can do, because how do you really do a movie with a lot of backtracking? Doesn't really work, right? So this is like the next best thing. Yeah, sounds like exactly what it should be. So hype. Same, man. I'm very excited. This is like one of my most anticipated movies right now, if I'm being honest. We got the first footage shown for the I Know What You Did Last Summer Legacy sequel, I guess you'd call it. I'm not terribly excited about this. I don't really think that the first I Know You Did Last Summer is all that great, but if you want to see the footage description, you're welcome to go seek that out, I guess. We got the next look at the new Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. We got a font change. The font is different, guys. Repeat, the font is different. and it's called Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which comes out next year. See, when things are coming out next year, like it's a lot more easy for me to be excited about it. If you like 2027 is a fake year. That year does not exist. That is so far outside like the reach of my mental bandwidth. Like things don't even become real to me anyway until I see a trailer. But like this is good enough, you know. This is good enough. And the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are like the bright spots of the MCU for me. And this seems like based on the comic book arc, because there's a comic book arc called Brand New Day, and it's supposed to be a pretty like small scale story, which is what a lot of people want it to be. You know, low stakes, just kind of Spider-Man doing a Spider-Man thing without any other Iron Man or Avengers interference or anything like that. So I'm very excited for this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. All 4 Beatles biopics will release April 2028. That's a fake year. In theaters. The first bingeable theatrical experience. And then I don't think I saved it, but they also announced that Harris Dickinson, Barry Keoghan, Paul Mescal, and some other guy are going to be the Beatles. I'm sure you guys have seen this. So that's really all the information we have right now. Each one's getting their own movie, and we have the 4 Beatles cast at this point, and then their movies. All 4 movies are going to drop the same month. I'm guessing like in like subsequent weeks is going to be how they do it. So like 4 weeks back to back. Or no, it says first bingeable. So I'm guessing, are they going to come out all at the same day? That seems crazy to me. Like, which one do you start with? I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe they're all interchangeable and like they all kind of feature the other person's life. I don't know. I've never been the biggest Beatles fan, so like I'm not really even all that excited for this. But I think the idea of them making 4 biopics as opposed to just one is kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I am not watching that. We got a trailer for the new horror film from the Philippou brothers. The directors have talked to me. Soul-shaking possession horror that cannot be unseen. This comes out next month. I'm very excited for this. I thought Talk to Me was pretty friggin' rad. Really cool, unique horror movie. This seems to be another unique horror movie. I'm not watching this trailer. I don't want to know anything. I'm already interested. I'm going to see this regardless. So, trailer's out if you guys want to check it out, but I am good. We got another trailer here for Karate Kid Legends. This I did watch because, like, whatever. My no trailer rule mostly applies to horror movies, but sometimes I'll break it. This, yeah, no, is a movie. it's Jackie Chan and Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio. So like the 2 of them are teaming up to train some other kid. Canonically, this is all. I mean, it's confusing, right? Because like the remake is Jackie Chan, so like I guess this is like making them all one universe, which begs the question like, where's Jaden Smith? This top comment's pretty funny. Jaden Smith after credit going to hit like crack. I'll throw that a like. Yeah, looks like they're Karate Kid. I mean, if you watch this trailer, it's just beat for beat Karate Kid, except this time there's 2 teachers, which like sure, I guess that's interesting. We got an official poster for Mike Flanagan's The Life of Chuck. I'm very excited for this. This looks very good. It's Mike Flanagan doing something other than horror, and it's getting a lot of buzz. This movie's getting a lot of hype. Could be a big Oscar contender. I would love to see Mike Flanagan get some Oscar love. I think that'd be sweet. No trailer for this yet, but this comes out in June, so I'm stoked on that. Abso-friggin-lutely. This one's for you, Eric. Adaptation of Stephen King's The Long Walk will release on September 12th this year in theaters, starring Cooper Hoffman, the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman, David Johnson from Alien Romulus, Ben Wang. I think that's the kid from the Karate Kid movie, if I'm not mistaken. Charlie Plummer, Judy Greer, and Mark Hamill. I've never read The Long Walk. People aren't ready for this one. I'm not ready for it. Supposed to be a good story. I'm excited. This cast is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. Great cast. I don't know if this has a director attached to it. It has to, right? I don't know who's doing it though. Thought the cast would be better. Who else did you want? Tank with your blue check mark. Yeah, is it a book or is it like a short story? Or is it like a shorter book? Is it like a novella? I can't remember. Luca Guadagnino confirms they're actively working on the new American Psycho movie. So this was rumored a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that he was doing it with Austin Butler in the lead role. But I think that was just a rumor. But apparently only the Austin Butler part was a rumor because everything else seems to be true. So yeah, talks are ongoing with actors for the leads, plural, which means that nobody's really cast yet as far as a starring role. Take a sip of my tea. That is hot. Let's see what's next. We got a bunch of John Wick updates from CinemaCon. We're getting an animated prequel, which is like the story of how he bought his freedom. They talk about it in the first movie. Donnie Yen from John Wick 4, that character is getting his own movie that he'll star in and direct. And John Wick 5 are all officially in development. So the world of John Wick is massive. We're getting that ballerina movie later this year with Ana de Armas. An animated prequel, like, cool. The Donnie Yen thing seems sick. His character in John Wick 4 was really cool. But like John Wick 5, I don't think we needed. The ending of John Wick 4 is so cool. It's so good. Like, it feels final, but like in today's world, truly nothing can ever rest. Like every other day, we're getting announcements. Like, we're getting a Labyrinth sequel. We're getting a sequel to Rami and Michelle's high school reunion. Like, literally anything with even a modicum of a cult fandom, it's getting a reboot. Like, anything. Studios will literally do anything other than like make a new IP. Any IP out there is liable to get some sort of legacy sequel. So, but like in the case of John Wick, it's okay. Like, I guess. But they got big shoes to fill, man. John Wick 4 was 3 hours long. It's so epic. It's just balls to the wall action for 3 hours straight. Like, I don't know how you top that. So, we're getting a lot of John Wick, though. Is this the... Okay. All right, so this story came out on April 1st, and everyone assumed that this was an April Fool's joke because it sounds pretty wild. And that's the other thing is CinemaCon happened to fall like coincide with April 1st. So like a lot of the news stories that were coming out, a lot of people were like, is this real? Is this not real? So it was a very confusing time to be on the internet. And like I'm trying to compile stories for this stream and I'm like, what's real? What's not real? What do I need to save? What do I don't save? So anyway, Leo is in talks to join Brad Pitt in David Fincher's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel at Netflix. So the story here is that Tarantino wrote a sequel for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And he was going to do his 10th movie was going to be this movie called The Movie Critic that was kind of loosely set in the world of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That fell through. He doesn't want to make that movie anymore. And that sort of morphed into this script for a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But he doesn't want to direct this because he can only do one more movie for some arbitrary reason. So, but Brad Pitt read it and he looked at it. And Brad Pitt liked it so much that he was like, yo, like Tarantino, can I show this to David Fincher? Because Brad Pitt and David Fincher have worked together like 3 times in the past. And, David Fincher has an exclusive deal at Netflix. So any movies that David Fincher makes go to Netflix. And, the last part of this says, Leo was supposed to play Evel Knievel for this Paramount biopic. So that still hasn't officially happened yet. So Leo's in talks to do a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel directed by David Fincher, going straight to Netflix, written by Tarantino. A lot of moving parts here. Really strange. Tarantino doesn't really let other people direct his movies. He's done it in the past. He did it with True Romance, Natural Born Killers, and From Dusk Till Dawn. Those were scripts that he sold like in the 90s before he'd really become the huge director that he is now. So, this is kind of unprecedented. He's very protective of his scripts. He's like, he said things about Natural Born Killers that that's not his movie. That's not what he wrote. Because Tony Scott, I think it's Tony Scott. Tony Scott changed some of the script around, which you don't really do with Tarantino. I think he's okay with From Dusk Till Dawn. That might have not been changed at all. He's in that movie too. One of Tarantino's few acting roles. But so this is strange to me for a lot of reasons, and Tarantino's also like a big proponent of like theatrical distribution. So the idea of a script from him being directed by another person going straight to a streamer is like, it just feels very anti-Tarantino, and that's why a lot of people didn't believe this. Also, just like, we don't really need a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't really know what that would look like. Feels very definitive, kind of, closed loop. There's not really much else to do there. So this is a strange thing, but April 1st came and went, and this story was never like disproved or anything or confirmed as being fake. So like, it's very much happening. So we'll see how this shakes out. Yeah, really strange though. So we got a new trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth. It was shown at CinemaCon. Reveals the scene where Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park novel, the scene from Jurassic Park, the novel, where the team attempts to drift through a lagoon in a raft with a T-Rex in tow. So Um, we've gotten a handful of updates about this movie, and I don't think I bookmarked it, but one of the updates is that this movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, feels more like a horror movie than any of the other Jurassic Park movies. Like perhaps with the exception of the first one. Um, so that's exciting to me. Um, and I'll definitely see that. For that reason, I'm excited for it. And there's like no Chris Pratt, like no goofy ass Chris Pratt. So that's cool. I like this cast a lot better. Um, Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali. Yeah, I think it'll be better than the last couple, right? Like Fallen Kingdom wasn't very good. I didn't even see Dominion because I heard that was garbage. So we'll see. Um, so Him is a new horror movie that follows a college quarterback who gets the chance to train with his idol, and his idol takes him into a sinister world to see what he's willing to sacrifice for fame. This is produced by Jordan Peele and directed by a guy named Justin Tipping. I've never heard of him. This is the poster for it. Very ominous. Um, very interesting, I guess. I don't really know what to make of this. Seems fine, I guess. I don't know. Not very excited for it personally, but could be cool. I don't have much else to say about that. Yeah, it feels weird, right? Like it's I don't know. Like it feels familiar, but in a different way. We got a new teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. This is going to theaters exclusively. I think this is a smart decision. Um, the last movie, people underestimated how big these movies are with kids, and the Minecraft movie is like doing extremely well at the box office right now. Like easily going to make $1 billion. Um, so there's this sentiment right now that you know movies like this, because the last one went to Peacock the same day, so people didn't have to go to the theater to watch it. They had the option to watch it at home, and I don't think they're going to do that with this one because the first one was a big success, and I think they realize that now, and they're gonna, you know, they're gonna try to capitalize. What's up, Ola Restless? How you doing, brother? Yeah, I thought I don't like this stuff. This isn't for me. I thought the first one was pretty atrocious, but this also comes with an asterisk, right? Like, I'm not the target audience. This is for like Zoomers and little kids. And the reason I don't completely hate movies like this is because this is going to be somebody's gateway horror movie. Like, this is going to be somebody's Halloween for me, like the movie that got me into horror movies. And maybe they watch Five Nights at Freddy's and it makes them want to go seek out other horror movies. Yeah, the youth gobbles this up for sure. Like, so this isn't for me. So, like, I can't disavow this. You know, it's inoffensive. I don't really care. Um, so Black Phone 2. That's the other thing, Eric. Good for theaters too. Anything that is good for the box office is good in general. Because I don't ever want my theater to shut down, right? So like the Taylor Swift Eras tour was huge. Like people were in the friggin' theater singing and shit. I don't care about that stuff, but it's good for the box office. And what's good for the box office is good for my theater. And what's good for my theater is good for me because I love my theater and I don't want to go to any other theater. So, um, like there was a time where it was I thought my theater was going to close. and it's a theater I've been going to since like 6th grade. Um, so I don't ever want that to close. So like shit like the Minecraft movie doing well, it's all good, baby. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so the Black Phone 2, we got like a description of it. Yeah, I didn't like the first one. I thought it was fine. It's like very mid in my opinion. But and so spoilers for the Black Phone, the first one, but the Grabber, which is such a stupid ass name by the way. They call him the Grabber because he grabs. Like he grabs the little kids, I guess. I don't know. Double Feature Podcast, what's up? How you guys doing? Thanks for being here. I'm just going over a lot of news right now. Lot of news out of CinemaCon, and just kind of giving my thoughts on it. So feel free to chime in, talk about anything that we're talking about. This is like an open discussion here. It's not just for me to talk about what I think of this stuff. I really want to hear what you guys think about it as well. So, but this description, the Grabber might as well have been the diddler. Yeah. But this description has me interested because a lot of people theorized that the Grabber, he dies in the first one. So it's like, how are you going to do a sequel? It has to be like a prequel, right? Because he's dead. No, he's back. It's supernatural. He's back from beyond the grave. And he's going full Freddy Krueger and is seeking revenge on the kids from the first movie. He's got full demonic powers now and can make children hallucinate incredibly cruel deaths. Seems kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm interested too. I think this has a lot of potential to be a lot better than the first one was. And I know a lot of people really liked the first one. So, yeah, this has the potential to be really good. I like the fact that they're going supernatural with it. Obviously, the first one had supernatural elements as well, but it seems like they're doubling down here. So, that's exciting to me. We got some Megan 2.0 news. This shit baffled me, man. So again, another movie, the first Megan, not a movie for me, but it could be a kid's gateway horror movie similar to Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Like Megan could be somebody's child's play, right? So nothing wrong with that. But it seems like this is Megan. They're taking Megan and going Terminator 2 with it. So Megan is hired by the military to stop another android who's killing all of her creators. She also skydives off of a mountain while performing some sort of heist. Like, what the hell, dude? This is so ridiculous. And then a follow-up I have of that. So she's flying in this wingsuit. Like they're going full like Mission Impossible with this Megan trailer. It's not a horror movie anymore. If the first one even was. Has the line, "Hold on to your vaginas." I mean, like what what are we doing here? This is so absurd. Not too excited about Megan. The trailer gave the whole film away. It's giving superhero Terminator vibes. Yeah, I got a lot of Mission Impossible vibes from it. Like, it's so bizarre. And what's really odd about Megan is that first viral marketing trailer where she's like doing that dance in the hallway and like TikTok latched onto that hard. So Blumhouse like pivoted hard and like made that the marketing for that movie. And that's only like a quick scene in the movie. It's like a 2-minute scene, if that. And ever since then, like they've got her doing that dance in the trailer for the second one, like that teaser trailer. And like they're just doubling down so hard on that little silly dance. And like guarantee she does it again in this one. People are gonna flip out for it. this is like I'm just very baffled by this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll see this. Maybe I will. If it's a slow week, maybe I'll go see this. I don't know. It's just very weird to me. Like the transition from the first one to this one. Yeah, like Megan slays. Like she slays. Like that's it's just very weird. Like TikTok, like yassified TikTok picked it up and ran with it, and they love her for it. So it's just odd to me. We're getting a new Steven Spielberg UFO film, described as a return to form to his iconic sci-fi films with a major twist. That part's interesting. Got a good cast here: Emily Blunt, Wyatt Russell, Coleman Domingo, Colin Firth, Eve Hewson, and Josh O'Connor from Challengers. This comes out next year. 2026 is going to be pretty stacked, man. Not going to lie. We got some dope shit coming out next year. So I'm excited. I'm excited for new Spielberg. I don't think he's done UFOs since like War of the Worlds. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, he did like E.T. obviously. His last movie was The Fablemans from 2022. That was like loosely based on his life. But yeah, he did E.T., Close Encounters, and War of the Worlds are his big like UFO movies. So yeah, this will be cool. Okay, so this is a physical media story. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but basically, they are doing the 4K for Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I'm very excited about this. These movies have kind of languished on Blu-ray for like 15 years. So Warner Brothers is finally doing 4K transfers for all the sequels. We got the first movie in 4K last year. And I believe we're going to probably get some kind of box set this year. But so Jack Shoulder, the director of Nightmare 2, he kind of goes into this long description of how they're really doing their the big takeaway from all this is that they're doing their due diligence and they're really giving this a really cool 4K transfer. And what really excites me is the fact that Jack Shoulder himself is a part of it. They're not doing it without him. Like they're bringing him onto the process and making him involved, which is always cool. You know, when the director themselves can be there for the restoration. So yeah, anyone who, you know, loves Nightmare 2, look at this guy. This guy takes selfies like an old man. I mean, which he clearly is, but I mean, this rules, right? I mean, he's just on the Warner Brothers lot. Here he is with Robert Englund. Yeah, I'm excited. The current Blu-ray box that we have is just not good enough. But yeah, we got Robert Englund, so they're doing some new interviews. Yeah, I'm super stoked. So yeah, just an update on Nightmare 2. And so we also got confirmation that the girl, I can't remember her name right now, but the girl who directed Nightmare 6 was also doing a similar situation as Jack Shoulder here a little while ago. So rest assured that these movies are getting, it seems to be that they're getting the proper treatment. So little 4K story, or a little physical media story for you guys there. But I Play Rocky is moving forward at Amazon MGM. This follows a young Sylvester Stallone and the dramatic journey it took to get Rocky made. And one of the Farrelly brothers is set to direct. So My understanding of this story is that Rocky was hard to get made, and Stallone like pitched it to MGM, and they were down to make the movie, but they didn't want him to play Rocky, or they wanted to cast someone else. And that's where the title comes from. I play Rocky, which is probably what Sylvester Stallone said to the execs. Um, no, like either I play Rocky or you guys can't have my script. And like he had to like sell his dog for some reason, like to get the movie made. And then he eventually went back and bought the dog back. So yeah, this reminds me of that show on like Paramount Plus, I think, about the making of The Godfather. So that's kind of a trend that we're in, right? Like these movies or shows about the making of iconic movies and shows. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. Like, there is a story here. Hey, man, Peter Farrelly did Dumb and Dumber, didn't he? The Farrelly brothers did that. Let me Google this guy's resume that has Old Restless So up in arms here. Shallow Hal, Me, Myself, and Irene, Osmosis Jones, Hall Pass, Green Book, Dumb and Dumber. I mean, he's mostly these guys are mostly known for comedies, but I'd love to know the behind the scenes and what it took to make the film. Yeah, I mean, I only know a little bit of the details. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. So you know, this seems interesting. Let's see. This trailer, we got it. We're getting a new Naked Gun reboot starring Liam Neeson, who I think is a great casting for the lead role for the Leslie Nielsen character. He's Liam Neeson is very funny, I would say. A lot of people probably don't realize that, but he's very funny. Yeah, dude. There's a really funny OJ Simpson joke in this trailer. I'm not gonna play the trailer for you guys, mostly because I can't figure out how to get the audio to play. Or wait, maybe that's why. Tell me if you guys hear the audio. You guys hear this? No audio. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that on my own time one of these days. But yeah, dude, the OJ. I'm glad you guys have seen the OJ joke. Yeah, sorry guys, I have to figure out how to get audio to play during these streams. I'll do that one of these days off camera. Yeah, I'm glad you guys have seen the OJ joke because it's very funny. And I'm glad they're acknowledging it. But yeah, I think this is gonna be funny. It's directed by one of the guys from The Lonely Island, so I'm excited. Leslie Nielsen, Liam Neeson. Yeah, I never thought about that. Welcome, Undead of Night, by the way. Good to have you. So going back to some CinemaCon news here. We did not get shit. They got the first trailer for Edgar Wright's Running Man remake, which basically the plot: Glenn Powell brought onto a game show where he's hunted by assassins. Also reveals Colman Domingo as the crazy game show host and Michael Cera making an appearance. Running Man was one of my favorite movies as a kid. Yeah, this movie, I watched this movie a lot when I was a kid, and it's badass, dude. It's a badass movie. So Edgar Wright remaking it with Glenn Powell, with Coleman Domingo, with Michael Cera. I'm all in. Very excited for this. So hopefully we get this trailer soon. I would really like to see it, so I can get an idea of what Edgar Wright's doing with it. We're approaching the end here of our news, guys. An extended look at James Gunn's Superman has been released. So all this footage really shows is I don't watch trailers for horror movies, like almost at all. This I did watch. It's not really a trailer. It's more of just like extended footage of this sequence that we already got. And like they're taking him back to the Fortress of Solitude. The robots are like healing him with sunlight. And then it just goes into other trailer footage. I am very arbitrary with this, I will admit, Old Restless, but it's a case by case basis, dude. It's depends on the movie. Like, I don't really care if I watch a trailer for Superman, but for a horror movie, I like for my experience to be totally pure, and I don't like to have anything spoiled for me. So, I'm glad you think the footage was good, though. I'm glad you liked it. The Superman movie will be incredibly divisive. Yeah, dude, like the Snyder heads are like still upset about this movie, and like it's so weird, like how the cult of Zack Snyder is like so anti this movie. So for that reason, I hope it makes $1 billion. I'm excited for Superman. I'm definitely excited. My interest in superhero movies is like, it's very hit or miss. But I'm excited about what James Gunn is trying to do with the DC universe. He's got a very ambitious plan, and I'm excited to see if he can pull it off. Got to do something fun to make Superman appealing because he's kind of boring face value. I agree to an extent. The problem is all anyone has ever known of Superman for the last like 15 years is the Zack Snyder version. The last like Superman movie that we got that was like similar to the tone of this was like Superman Returns from 2006. And so there's a whole generation of people who've grown up and all they've known was the dark, gritty, brooding, serious Zack Snyder, Man of Steel, Henry Cavill shit. And I think Zack Snyder like fundamentally like misunderstands Superman as a character, and like he like kind of just molded him to fit his own sensibilities rather than making a movie about what Superman's really like, which is like this optimistic, all-American superhero who is just like super, wholesome and, Now, as far as him being boring, as like, cause yeah, like he's got like every superpower that you could ever want. But so like, that part I do kind of agree. He's like kind of boring in that regard, right? Because he's like virtually unkillable. The only way that he's going to be taken down, if he ever does get taken down, is with kryptonite. So like it's very predictable as far as like, what his strengths and what his weaknesses are. But I think we've yet to see a really good, like traditional on brand superhero movie, Superman movie, I should say, excuse me, in a long, long time. So I'm excited. And I think James Gunn's the guy to do it. Yeah, I understand. There's just been so many bad ones. I've been burned too many times, Zack Snyder had one cool movie, which James Gunn wrote. He stinks. Is that Dawn of the Dead you're talking about? I would agree that that's probably Zack Snyder's best movie, that Dawn of the Dead remake. Yeah, he's a. He's got a couple movies I like. I like Dawn of the Dead. I like Sucker Punch, and 300 is cool, but that's about it for me anyway. We're coming to the end of our news here, guys. A couple more things to talk about. First look at Predator Badlands. This comes out in November. The film follows an outcast predator and aims to answer the question, what if the predator was a good guy? Yeah, Sucker Punch is super divisive. Seems like a love it or hate it thing. It's very lacking in substance. It's very much a style over substance movie. It's basically just got cool visuals. Like that's really all it has going for it. But for me, sometimes that's enough. That Dawn of the Dead remake is so good. It's so good. Like he really knocked out of the park that first movie. But yeah, dude, this looks sick. I'm excited for a new Predator movie. Glad that it's going to theaters and not just getting dumped on Hulu. Like, Disney finally realized that, like, oh, people want to see Predator movies in theaters. Excuse me. But like, yeah. So, like, Prey was so good, and I loved Prey, and they just dumped it right on Hulu. And I think they realized that they left a lot of money on the table when they did that because the response to Prey was so good. So hopefully Predator Badlands is just as good. I believe it's directed by the same guy, so that's a good sign. This design, you can't really see a lot of what's going on here, but it, looks kind of cool, I guess. He's got a cool hood on. And then this plot synopsis too. What if the Predator was a good guy? I don't really know I mean, that seems like a Terminator 2 thing as well. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like that would have been so sick to see on theaters. Like Disney doesn't know what the hell they have. They inherited all these IP when they bought Fox, and they're like, oh, I don't fucking know. What do we do with this shit? I don't know. Dump it on streaming. But they'll put their fucking Snow White movie in theaters, and that shit'll bomb. Like they need to spread out and like actually, you know, invest in some of this IP that they paid $4 billion for, or whatever they paid for Fox. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, we got a lot of good movies coming out this year, guys. This could be an all-time year, honestly. We have a lot of good shit to look forward to. So Kevin Feige says that Avengers Doomsday will focus on the Avengers, the Wakandans, the Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and the original X-Men all fighting Doctor Doom. Filming begins in a few days. So at this point, filming has already started. So what I'll say about Avengers, and I've said this before, I think I said this on our last episode of the Dispatch. Where did you see the Finn Wolfhard Campbell movie? Is that what you're asking? Oh, yeah, I saw it in theaters. It was good. I actually liked it. Yeah, dude, that's the big thing, right? Like, I'm excited to see Doctor Doom. It might be available to rent already. I'm not sure. So what I'll say about this whole Avengers thing is that as far as these big, massive team-up movies, Marvel cannot miss. Like, these are built-in billion-dollar movies. Like, there's just no way that this fails on a financial level. This cannot fail. Like, it just can't happen. The big team-up movies cannot fail. But the problem is that this feels there's virtually been no build up for this. Like there's been build up in the sense that we are familiar with Wakanda, there will be build up in the sense that we will have had one Fantastic Four movie, we will have had one Thunderbolts movie, and we've had all the original Fox X-Men movies. I don't know anything about Thunderbolts though, but I can't imagine. Yeah, so that movie Thunderbolts comes out next month. It's like a Suicide Squad of Marvel characters, basically. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like this thing's guaranteed to at least be fun, and so the question remains like, so Thanos and that whole big team up with Infinity War and Endgame was built up over all those movies. This has had essentially no build up at all. It's all been very rushed. Excuse me, by the way. Sorry for burping. It's all been very, very rushed. So time will tell if that is going to be a problem or not when the actual movie comes out. You know, I'm not sure. It seems like these movies are just cheat codes for essentially, like, you make a movie like this where it's this big crowd pleasing event with all these old, like, you're bringing back original X-Men, you're got the Fantastic Four fighting alongside the Avengers, all fighting Doctor Doom. Oh, and also Doctor Doom is Robert Downey Jr. Like, there's no way that this could be an unfun experience. Yeah, right. Like this movie has to do a lot of work though. This movie has to introduce you to Doctor Doom because we won't have seen him prior to this, except for maybe we'll get a look at him in a post-credit scene of Fantastic Four later this year. Maybe that's a thing. But this movie will have to introduce Doctor Doom. It'll have to introduce the original X-Men somehow into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where the last time we saw them was in the Fox movies. And it'll also have to serve as a passing of the torch because all those original X-Men are like in their 50s, spanning from the 80s and 90s. Like they're all very old, right? So this is going to be a one and done thing. It's going to be a cool send off. It'll be a last hurrah for them, and it'll be a love letter to those original X-Men movies. But so they're going to do that, but then they're also going to have to introduce us to the new ones, the new cast, because they are obviously going to be doing X-Men films going forward, and they're not going to be able to use James Marsden and Ian McKellen, who is a fossil, as Old Restless points out. So they're going to have to do that, and they're going to have to also be like, okay, well, also bye-bye to them because they're old. And we have to have a whole new cast. They have to cast like 20 friggin' X-Men because there's a lot of X-Men. Like they made a whole cinematic universe out of those alone over at Fox. Like there's a ton of them. So it's just a lot. It's going to be a lot. You got Wakanda, you got Fantastic Four, you got Thunderbolts. Like it's going to be a lot to juggle. And without the proper setup, it could feel very clunky and rushed. And I just don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. Yeah, it's definitely going to be some multiverse shit. But so my question is just like, how are you going to introduce us to an entire cast of X-Men in one go? Like it's a tall order, and it's going to be hard to do. Like, are they going to have a cool moment perhaps where the old cast is like saying hi or whatever, or like being introduced to the new cast? Like, I don't know how they're going to do it. Although all that being said though, I am excited for this. I haven't been excited about Marvel in a while. I haven't cared, but this is how they get you to care. This is how they make $1, $2, $3 billion. You know, these movies are built to win. These movies cannot fail. Thunderbolts, Captain America, Anthony Mackie, those can fail all day long, and they do, and they continue to. And that's the other thing, is like these movies will always do well, the massive team up movies. But if the real test of how to tell if Marvel is back is, can the one-off movies work? Can the Captain America movies work? Can the Marvels work? Movies where they're not relying on these big crowd-pleasing moments where, James Marsden comes out to help them fight Doctor Doom with all the original X-Men and like Fantastic Four fighting alongside Thunderbolts, like the big moments that are built in, like applause breaks for the crowd to freak out in the theater, like, because you only get to have these every 6-7 years, right? Like you can't do these all the time, or that doesn't work anymore. And they know that. So I don't know. This will be a case of wait and see. Wait and see. And this is our last news article, guys. We got a trailer for the new Tron movie. And this shit looks sweet, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. We got like Tron shit in the real world. Like they got the Tron cycle in the real world. Look at this shit. I know you can't hear it, but I mean, look at that, dude. This shit looks dope as fuck, bro. I'm sorry. Tron Legacy has a sick soundtrack from Daft Punk, and I guess they couldn't get Daft Punk for this one, so they got Nine Inch Nails instead, which is like, if you can't get Daft Punk, that's the next best thing. So again, I know you guys can't hear this, but like, I'm stoked for this, dude. The little bit of the music you can hear in the trailer, I think Daft Punk is like retired, man. They've been around a long time. I don't think they yeah, I'm pretty sure they're retired. The only thing that could go wrong with this movie is Jared Leto, because I don't like Jared Leto. But Nine Inch Nails did the soundtrack for Challengers, and the Challengers theme song, or the Challengers score, I should say, is incredible. Really good shit. So I'm down, bro. I'm all in. Yeah, Daft Punk is the shit. Um so that's it, guys. That's all the news. We talked about a lot of stuff. And the craziest thing is I didn't even include everything. There was a lot of stuff that I left off, mostly just because it was just really, there wasn't really anything to talk about. It's just like, this movie is getting a trailer soon, and this movie is a thing, and it's like stuff we already really knew, stuff we already knew about. Um, and it was also, a lot of it was stuff that I didn't think would be very interesting for me to talk about, because ultimately I would have had like one or two things to say about it, and we would have just moved on anyway. So I really just tried to include all the interesting stuff, and yeah, we went for over an hour, so I would say this was a success. So, all right, guys, that's it for this week's episode of the Dispatch. Lots of movies coming out this year. A lot of good movies coming out this year. A lot of stuff that I'm actually very excited about. So, this year has the potential to be a really, really great year. So far, hasn't been great. It's been a pretty slow year, but things are ramping up this month, and like from this month onward, it's all gas, no brakes. So, Eric, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you, bro. Um, yeah, I agree, Old Restless. We got a lot of good stuff coming. A lot of good stuff coming. I appreciate all of you guys being here, talking movies with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All of your feedback and your interactions really make these a lot more fun for me to do, because otherwise it's just me talking to myself, and that's not as fun, right? So I appreciate you guys all coming out. Appreciate you, Old Restless. You're always here. You're the man, brother. And Double Feature Podcast, thanks for being here. I'm trying to figure this out. it's I might have to go back to the original project file and really cut out a lot of the movie footage that I was using, and then try to re-upload that and see if that's okay. Um, I reached out to a bigger YouTuber who's had experience with stuff like this, and initially they were very like forthcoming and like even volunteered to really help me with it. And they were going to give me advice on how to dispute the copyright claim. And they had a template that they were going to provide me. Like all this stuff, like really all I reached out to them. I'm not going to say who this person was. I reached out to them because I knew that they had had experience with this before. And all I really was asking for was advice. I wasn't asking for them to do anything for me. And then I was like, yeah, just because I wanted them to look at the video because the video's unlisted now. So I sent them the video and I just said, hey, if you wouldn't mind, just scrub through this for me. Look at the amount of footage that I'm using and see if it's egregious. Like, see if this is something that if this was your video, would you appeal this? Because the problem with YouTube copyright is that if I appeal the copyright claim and I lose, then my channel gets a copyright strike. And if I get 3 copyright strikes, my channel gets deleted. So before I did this appeal process, I wanted to really make sure that this was something that I could win. And because if I'm not confident in that, then I don't want to risk getting the copyright strike. I would rather just go back to the original project file, significantly cut down the amount of footage that I use, and then just upload it that way. It's not how I would like to do it, but so anyway, this person, volunteers to go through the video for me, make sure it's, something that would pass copyright. And he was going to provide me with this template that he uses and he's given to other people. And that was March 26th. We had this conversation and he said he would get back to me tomorrow, which would have been March 27th. And I just haven't heard back from this person. They're continue to be active on social media, continuing to post things, and just ignoring me. So it's very frustrating that I'm kind of just in limbo with this. And this person's not under any obligation to help me, by the way. Like, you don't have to, but the thing is that they offered to, and then they decided to just go radio silent and not provide me with any, further information. So I'm like waiting to see if this person eventually does get back to me, and then I'll move forward with how to handle the Silent Hill video. But it's looking like they're just not ever going to reply to me. Yeah, so what happens is you can dispute it, and generally speaking, it seems to me that most of these disputes usually they get denied. So after you dispute it, you can submit like an official appeal, is I think what they're called. And that is something that gets reviewed by an actual person. The disputes are usually are all like kind of automated, things where it's like a robot or some shit. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to risk it, even though you need 3 before your channel gets deleted. I would rather have none. And if I'm not very confident that I won't get one, I don't want to risk doing this. So it really sucks. I put a lot of time and effort into that Silent Hill video. I think it was pretty good. I think it was solid. And I would like for people to be able to watch it. But right now it's just kind of sitting in limbo, and I'm relatively new to the whole copyright situation. And what really is annoying is I've made similar videos that use the same amount of footage. I never use more than 10 seconds of continuous footage at a time. And I've done that in previous videos. My Valentine video, the Valentine's Day slasher from 2001, I use a lot of footage of that entire movie all throughout the video. And the problem is that it's all arbitrary. What's okay with one studio might not be okay with another studio. So whoever owns Valentine, I guess, they're cool with it. But Sony, with Silent Hill, bang, right there. Sony says, no, this is not okay. You've used too much of our footage. And it's just very difficult when I'm only doing something that I've already done before and has been proven to be fine. Like, I wouldn't just do this and expect it to be okay, right? Like, I'm basing it off of things that I've already done. And it's just not okay. So, and it's very possible that, it will be fine. And the person who I was talking to, the content creator that I was talking to, really led me to believe that it most likely would be fine if I just, submitted this appeal. Because he deals with things like this all the time. And, then he decided to just completely ghost me. So I don't know what I'm going to wind up doing with that. Maybe I'll reach out to another content creator who's got experience with this sort of thing, because I don't really want to mess around. I don't want to mess around and risk getting a copyright strike, or, the whole copyright thing. It's like I said, it's so arbitrary. So yeah, it's a headache, but it is what it is. But thank you for asking. Off the shelf reviews, Gary. Let me look him up. Okay. Interesting. Maybe I'll look him up on Twitter. Let me look at his videos real quick. Okay. Yeah, just scrubbing through one of his videos, it looks like he uses a lot of movie footage, so that's a big thing, right? Like, that's my problem, is I like to, whenever I do the larger videos where I'm doing like a breakdown of the movie and I'm, going beat by beat and I'm talking about something specific, I like to be able to show you visually what it is I'm talking about, because it's not only is it better than just seeing my face talk about it, like that's boring, right? Nobody wants to see my face talking about something. And it just helps to drive home the point that I'm making. And it just makes for a better video. So like, I could just do video essays where it's just 30 minutes to an hour of just my face talking about something, but I don't find that would make for a good video. So Old Restless, thank you for the suggestion. I am going to try to reach out to this guy, because it does seem like he deals with the same style of videos that I'm trying to make. Haven't been terribly successful as of yet, but I'm going to reach out to him. So I appreciate the suggestion, man. Hopefully he doesn't decide to fucking ghost me like this other guy did. And again, look, I'm not going to say his name. He's a person whose channel I really admire, and someone I want to be like this guy. I want to make videos in the style that this guy does. And I was super grateful for him volunteering to help me. That's I want to make sure I'm very clear about this, because all I was looking for was advice, nothing more. And, then he volunteered to look at my video and make sure that it was up to snuff and something that he would co-sign, and he was going to provide me with this template. I was very, very excited. And then, yeah, nothing. So, definitely sucks. I don't really know why he decided to do that. Yeah, and it's like, I understand we're all busy people and, we all have lives and shit. But, like, the thing is, man, he literally said, I'll get back to you tomorrow. Tomorrow came and went. And I'm like, oh, no big deal, man. He'll probably get back to me, like, the next day or the day after that. He's a busy guy. This was on March 26th. It's been, it's been over a week at this point. On Wednesday, it'll have been 2 weeks. And I have followed up with him. I've hit him up a couple times after. I'm not spamming this dude. I'm not blowing up his DMs or anything. I've sent him like one subsequent message just to be like, hey man, like, if you can't help me, that's fine. But if you can, like, just get back to me, please. And if you can't, let me know, so that way I can proceed with my plan B, which would be to cut out a lot of the footage and try to re-upload that. But like right now, I'm just caught in this purgatory, because maybe he will get back to me. And I'm trying to be understanding and not like talk any shit about this guy, because maybe he has a really good reason, maybe he has a really good reason. So I don't know. It's just frustrating. Like, again, he's not responsible. He's not obligated, but he definitely knows, like, I made it very clear to him, like, he knows that I have this video just sitting in purgatory right now and I can't do anything with it. And I guess he just doesn't care, which is fine. He doesn't have to. He wanted to act like a helpful guy in that first moment, but couldn't fulfill it. But that's the thing. He can, though. He literally can, because he's done this same type of thing. He literally could help me if he wanted to. And it wouldn't take him very long either. It would probably take him like 30 minutes max. So that's the thing that's even more frustrating, is that he absolutely could help me, but he just doesn't want to, I guess. So whatever. It's up to me. I have to figure it out for myself. I cannot just rely on other people. So again, there's no way he's watching this or will watch this, but yeah, there most likely is. Like, it's not like I am beholden to this one individual. But the thing is, like, the fact that he has the firsthand experience and has dealt with very similar studios and like the same exact issues, the fact that I'll be able to talk to someone one-on-one rather than just kind of reading somebody else's secondhand account of it, I valued that, because that to me is more encouraging than just kind of, taking a shot in the dark with some online thing. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it. This turned into a little vent sesh, but hey, it was good to get that out, I guess. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you all being here. I think I have too much in one video. I could, but I don't think it would make a difference necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. I think if anything, I would just shrink the amount of footage that I have in the video, and then see if that works. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, like, that's like I like having, like, to me, that is like lower production value, right? Like, just some stills is not as high production. So I liked being able to use the footage, but I also realized that with that comes the copyright stuff. So yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate the support. Yeah, and I do know how to do that, but again, it's like nothing beats the actual footage, right? So, but yeah, I appreciate all of you guys' support. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys being here. And yeah, see you guys next week. Have a good one, guys.